guys, it's Shade here, and today we're gonna play a little bit of Nubby's Number Factory. There you go. I just felt like playing this game again. It's kind of a good game just to sit down, chill, relax, yap about whatever, have a good time, you know. Something I can do in my free time. I mean, that's when I do have free time, of course. Life is just getting busier and busier, especially with my studies and what I'm doing career-wise and stuff like that, you know. I feel like the older you get, the more busy you get. But we'll get more into that once I get into the game. But let me get to the game first, and then I'll explain what I'm talking about. So we're gonna do a little bit of Blony Tony. Basically, what Blony Tony does is he randomizes the triggers of items and perks. So let's say usually Lobster Claw, right, activates every 3 seconds, or is it 1.5? Or I don't really know. However, Lobster Claw activates. Instead of its normal activation, it could possibly activate every 2 pecks popped. So Blony Tony can get crazy. Anyways, let's get to yapping, because why not? Sorry, oh my god, I'm struggling. If I sound like I'm kind of out of it, I do apologize. I have been having some sleep problems lately. I've always had sleep problems though, ever since early high school, I'd say, really middle school. Kind of started during then, and I just, you know, struggled to sleep or not relax, but you know, sleeping's always kind of been a problem of mine. But I feel like a lot of people have that in the ASMR community, you know. I feel like a lot of us in the ASMR community kind of can use ASMR for sleep because a lot of us do have sleeping related problems. I've always struggled to fall asleep, or no matter how tired I feel, I just can't do it, you know. But yeah, so if I sound kind of out of it, I do apologize. But 2-peg popped uranium rod is gonna be busted, absolutely busted. Item in slot 3 triggers 5 times. So what we can do, right? We can save that. We can go ahead and put that in slot 3, and that'll trigger this whenever we buy it. Every 4 seconds, 2-pegs pop. Don't really need any of that. And as you can see, that is going to go crazy. Anyways, hopefully y'all have been doing well. Hopefully y'all are having a good day. But overall, I just really hope y'all are doing well. Okay? And if y'all aren't, I understand. We all have bad days and we all have stuff on our mind. And it's hard to get that stuff off our mind, you know? Whatever that may be. There's something always on my mind. You know, I'd be lying if it wasn't, but I don't want that. Trainer perk wouldn't be the greatest. I'm just gonna skip this because I don't think I'm ever gonna have pegs. So we'll just take the money. Give me a quick second. Let me plug up my headphones. But I won't cut this out of the video because I don't really feel like it. So if this is really loud, I'm sorry. Hopefully the game isn't too loud too. I turned up the game volume a little bit because last time I played this game, or made a let's play of it, felt like it was pretty quiet. So hopefully y'all can somewhat hear the game now. Anyways, what I was saying was, you know, we all have stuff that weighs down our mind sometimes, and trust me, I get it, it's really hard. You know, whether that's us just thinking negatively about ourselves, or feeling like we're not enough, or, you know, just feeling like no matter how hard we try, it's just, we'll never be able to compete. Just things like that, you know. They're just simply like we're not worth it, or whatever negative thing you might be thinking about yourself, you know, it weighs you down. And, you know, this is kind of it's a mixture of not really a venting session, but more of a thing to talk about. I feel like it's important to bring up. You know, just in general. You know, things like social media, all that stuff too, that doesn't help, you know. And I'd be lying. I mean, I look at social media a decent amount, scrolling through whatever, and I always do it to myself. You know, I look at a thing and then I'm like, you know what, let's look at the comments of this, because why not? That never leads to anything good. And, you know, I don't know. like, don't get me wrong, modern age technology is very important, but also I feel like it causes a lot more damage than we realize as well. And hell, that's coming from a cybersecurity major. You know? I don't know. And I feel like, you know, that negativity that we hold on ourselves sometimes leads to a lack of, you know, what we can truly do. It's hard to push through, you know? Like, for example, like, I've never really had much of an interest in anything, so a lot of what I study, a lot of what I do, you know, other than this channel and like drawing and stuff, of course, because I do that stuff for fun when I feel like it. But, you know, a lot of the stuff I do, I just solely do because, you know, it's something, I guess. You know, I don't really have a full-on interest. I don't have a goal. I don't really have anything like that. I kind of just do things and hope something works out. That's really about it. And sometimes it kind of sucks, you know, to see people have all these goals and do very well at things. And I know you know, we're all capable of that stuff. You know, it's a pretty negative way of thinking, but it's hard to get out of that mindset, you know. Sorry, I didn't really mean to turn that into a venting session, but, you know. It's also, I mean, this goes for y'all too, if you think the same way, but, you know, it can be really hard to give our own selves credit. You know, we pay attention to how well other people are doing, or what we don't have compared to other people, or just the qualities we don't like about ourselves, when realistically those qualities are things other people like, or so many people see so much in us that we can't see, just because we decide to be so critical on ourselves. And it's one of those things where you gotta be careful with that, you know? Because a lot of what we think about ourselves, especially if it's negative, isn't really true. But we make ourselves believe it's true, because why would we believe in the positives about ourselves and what people say when we see every positive about ourselves as a lie? You know, it's a hard mindset to get out of. It's very hard to get out of. But just remember, you know, the negative things you say about yourself, or just the things we think about ourselves, it's not true. A lot of what you see online isn't true either. A lot of things just aren't true. And then, I mean that more in the negative side of stuff. So, you know, try to love yourself, will ya? I don't know if y'all struggle with that. If y'all don't struggle with that, it's good. Glad y'all don't. But I know a lot of people do, and I'm one of those people as well. So you're not alone if you feel that same way. But I just feel like it's important to talk about those things sometimes. Because, you know, it's hard. It's hard to love yourself. It really, really is. But you're not alone in that. Trust me, I understand. One thing I've always said is if you can't love yourself, then you have other people to love you even when you don't realize it. You know, that's what I always say. And if you don't think anyone loves you, then that's just a lie. It's simply a lie. At least, that's what I try to tell myself. Getting pretty lucky on these upgrades right now. Oh, and another uranium rod. I'll take it. Do a little bit of investing right here. Don't want that. I'll pass. Alright. Sorry, that might have been a loud mouse click. Oh yeah, now we're winning. But yeah. In summary, you know, just remember that people love you. Remember that you are worth it. Remember that you've done a lot more than you realize, and that, you know, you are worth it. And Again, you're so much more than you realize. It may not feel that way from seeing what other people have accomplished, or when you start comparing yourself, or it may not feel like you're worth anything at all, or because you don't have any interest, or you don't feel like you've accomplished the same things other people have, or small examples like you're not as good as an artist as you think you are compared to other people, or you think your stuff is bad, like all these negative ways of thinking. 99% of the time that stuff isn't true. So remember to love yourself. Try not to be so hard on yourself. But I get it. It's really hard not to be hard on yourself when you trick yourself into thinking everything you say about yourself is true. Even when people tell you otherwise, it's still hard to believe it because you've taught yourself so much to believe that the things you say about yourself is true when it's not. I get it, it's hard, but just remember people really do. People really do think good about you, and you really have done so much more than you realize. But the biggest thing is you're not alone. People understand you. But the negative things you say about yourself is never needed. I like to talk about mental health stuff a lot on this channel. It's probably a common thing you've already noticed, but mental health my whole entire life has been something that's been very important to me. Something I've seen, my whole life, whether that's friends, family, or myself, I've seen it my whole entire life, and I've seen the ways it's impacted people. The importance of how strong it really is, how much damage it can really do to a person. So I feel like these things are important to talk about. Not only for the better factor of ourselves, but for the betterment of the people as well. To realize that, there's so much more to it than just be happy, Because realistically, it's not just, you can't just tell someone to be happy. It doesn't work like that. There's so many factors that play into it. So many ideas, so many just things in general to think about in this topic. So many things that could affect us in ways we realize or don't even realize. And it's important to talk about these things, because if we never talk about them, nothing will ever be done. And more damage will be caused. And sometimes it's just having someone understand you. It's really all that you need sometimes, but mental health, I feel like, is something that doesn't go away, but it's something we can mitigate, and that's all we can do. That's why we need to always be here for each other, support each other. Because that support is always needed, because these problems truly don't go away, but we can mitigate them and work on them and understand them. And the more we understand them, the stronger we get as an individual, and the more we learn about that problem so we can help others as well. Use the struggles that we went through to not teach others, but help others. There's so much I can say about mental health. It's a lot, but in summary, just, remember you're not alone in whatever you might be going through. And trust me, it's hard. It's hard in many ways, especially when you never feel like you're enough. But always remember that you are. Everybody on this earth is enough. The only thing you have to do is continue the move. Continue to keep that train moving. Continue to make yourself going. Because the only thing that won't work out, that won't that will lead to negative things is if you don't do anything at all. Because if you don't do anything at all, then yeah, there's not really much you can do there. So just remember you are worth it, and just remember to keep on moving, even when times are really bad. And remember that you're human. You don't have to hide these things. You don't have to put on a mask. You don't have to fake people or feel embarrassed for how you feel. You're human. These are human emotions. Talk about them. Be open to the people you trust about them. Just remember that you are loved, that you are worth it, and that you should stay here. That's my summary for that. I just kind of felt like talking about that today. Just thought it was important to get off not off my chest, but just something to talk about. But again, mental health has always been very important to me. And it's something I'll talk about a lot on this channel. As, at the end of the day, I am an ASMR channel. And, a lot of us use ASMR for sleep, of course, but a lot of us using ASMR for comfort. For, whether that's comfort or it helps with our anxiety or depression, whatever it might be, it helps. Of course I use ASMR for sleep, but I use ASMR to relax, and I use it for my anxiety and depression problems, I do. I do struggle with those things, So, ASMR is used for a lot of reasons like that too. And that's the whole premise of why I honestly made this channel, is not only did I just make it because I thought ASMR was cool. No. I genuinely made this channel because I wanted to make the content I listened to, and I wanted to help the people like y'all in some way, whether that's just helping y'all relax or sleep, or whether that's helping y'all through tough times. I wanted to do something like that, and that's the reason why I made this channel, is to help the people. And it might be a small way, it might be a small channel, but I really do enjoy doing this. And no matter how many people see this video, I'm happy to just make it in general, for whoever watches this. I'm not doing this channel for any personal gain. I'm really not. I'm solely doing it for the people, for y'all. And I don't even mean that in a cheesy way. That's genuinely the reason why I made this channel. So, being a mental health month, I just feel like it's important to really dig deep into these things. So, that's all really when it comes to that. Just, you're not alone, alright? Anyways, switch the topic around a little bit. Honestly, I really enjoyed that drawing video I did. That drawing, ASMR video I did, I really enjoyed. So, it's possible that I'll probably do a lot more of those. Because not only does it get me, drawing more in my, my drawing notebook, which I do want to finish at some point. It's also a way to make content for y'all too. So I'm kind of doing two things I like at once. I don't really want to say knocking out two birds with one stone, because I'm not exactly just doing it to get things knocked out, but in a sense, it's that analogy, but for what I enjoy doing. That makes sense. But yeah, I can definitely expect more drawing videos at some point, probably, because I really enjoy doing that. I'm just gonna stick with my build I have. This build's pretty good. drawing projects and drawing videos probably. Then I'll get to the roleplay video at some point. So I definitely have I would say 2 roleplay videos in mind, possibly 3. So I have some roleplay videos in mind. I mean, I definitely need to get back on that roleplay grind because I can definitely tell the roleplay videos definitely people like a lot. They tend to get a lot of attention, so you know, it'd probably be good to make some roleplay videos. And I mean, I enjoy making them anyways. It's just a matter of being in the mood to make the roleplay videos because I don't really write a script. I kind of come up with the script on my mind, so I really have to be in the mood to roleplay, if that makes any sense. Because if I'm not in the mood to roleplay, I'll kind of just sit there quiet, not know what to say, and it wouldn't be a good roleplay video. So that's why they're a little bit rarer than other videos. It's because I really want to be in the mood to do that, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm doing a little bit of yawning. I'm gonna turn this SFX off, but I'll keep the music on, because the SFX can get kind of loud sometimes. And it's starting to annoy me a little bit, so for now I'm gonna turn that off. I have a little bit of music in the background, so it's not just, you know, a quiet game and me talking. But yeah. Another dolphin. That might be funny, honestly. Let's give that a try. Oh man. Sorry about all this yawning. I haven't really gotten great sleep recently. I don't know if it's just a lot's been on my mind, or just simply, I mean, I also simply kind of wake up early and don't even realize how early it is, and then I just can't go back to sleep. It's a mixture of things. But I've always had sleeping related problems since I'd say middle school. I've always had sleeping related problems. But what can you do, you know? What can you do? So, I'd be a little sleep deprived gamer most of the time. But it's alright. I work around it. If it wasn't for my chronic ASMR addiction, I wouldn't be able to go to sleep, honestly. I'd be lying if I didn't say I had an ASMR addiction. I really do. Like, I don't know. It's just funny to me. But I'd be lying if I didn't say I loved ASMR. In the community too, you know? Like, I haven't really seen the bad side of the community, which there's a bad side to any community, but from my perspective, so much of the ASMR community is so supportive, so kind, you know? I feel like the majority of the ASMR community is really kind and caring, at least again from what I've seen. And it's really nice to be in a community that is caring like that, you know? Cause in a lot of communities you really don't see that much. I feel like in a lot of communities or fandoms or whatever it might be, there's a lot of hate, a lot of negativity, or just a lot of questionable things. Really, those three, you know? And I feel like the ASMR community is one of those communities that have less of that. especially on the negativity side again, like I don't feel like I've seen a lot of negativity in the ASMR space. You know, ASMR community does kind of have that problem of over-sexualized stuff sometimes. Not a huge fan of that, personally. You know, I like little wholesome role plays, like the boyfriend role plays I make and what other people make, stuff like that, you know? Little date role plays, or, you know, boyfriend cuddles with you or something like that. You know, I like those, the wholesome ones, you know what I mean? I like the wholesome stuff, but, you know, there's a side of the community as well that's overly sexual. Like, you know what they're, like, you can tell that's what they're trying to go for and trying to do. And, I mean, if you're an adult, you know, by all means, enjoy it. I'm not here to judge. If you like that stuff, go for it. As long as you're, you know, an adult, of course. Enjoy it, you know. I don't care. Do what you want to do. But, you know, sometimes there can be a lot of that. And, I don't know. Like, in a sense, like, it's not that I don't agree with it, you know, again, you're an adult. Make what you want to make. But, you know, at the same time, it's just you know, just, it's not my thing. It's not really my thing. It's not something I personally would ever want to do, you know. And like, I don't know how to word it. It's not that I don't agree with it, but it's something I'm just not 100% fond about. I don't know. It's a really hard way to word it. I don't really know how to word it. But, you know, at the same time, I mean, you know, do what you want to do. If you like that stuff, then go for it, you know. As long as you're of age to enjoy those things, of course. But that's really about it. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, this community is very nice, very respectful. Like, I'd never expected this channel to get so much support that quick, honestly. So I really do appreciate you guys. Like, honestly, I did not expect to make a few videos and get as many subscribers as I already have on this channel. And to get the comments I've been getting too, they're so kind. All the comments I've gotten are so kind. It's something I would have never expected making a channel like this. You know, I really wasn't expecting much at all. Or I was expecting like people to cringe at it and be like, it's so weird, you know? But all you have all been so kind to me, and I really do appreciate that. It means a lot more than you realize. And I know a lot of people say that, but really, it's true. It means a lot more than y'all realize. So I appreciate that. Because this channel, not only was it just something I felt like making because it sounded fun, but this channel was a big step out of my comfort zone too. You know, it was a big step out of my comfort zone and just doing things that I want to do without worrying about what other people think. You know, so it was pretty scary starting this channel because I didn't know what people would think. But this channel has taught me to truly be myself and just make content without worrying about what other people think of me. You know, that's a big step for me. So I appreciate all the support y'all give me, and again, just for being here for me. I really do appreciate it. Anyways, let's see if we can win this thing. We got 3 more rounds technically. Yep. And once I beat this, I'll end the video, but I appreciate y'all listening to, if y'all at least made it this far, or if y'all fell asleep or anything like that. I appreciate you falling asleep, and hope you have a good night, or if you're just studying through this, playing games or whatever, or, you know, if you made it this far, I appreciate you sticking around and listen to this random little guy on the internet yap about whatever stuff he talks about, you know. I do appreciate it. Because I've always been quite the yapper, which is funny because on my channel in videos that I make by myself. You know, I talk a lot, but like if y'all ever met me in person or if I was ever in a call with someone or something like that, I'm very reserved and quiet. It's funny how that works, you know? It's like making these videos kind of makes me open up and talk about things more. It's kind of cool how that works, you know? But, yeah. It's kind of cool how things work out sometimes. Alright, let's see. Final boss is Tony. Any lasers he shoots out of his eyes will hit certain pegs. These pegs will turn into 1 point if he hits them. Let's see if we can win. Hopefully we can make it. Ooh, oh, we almost did. Is it all jumbled? There is a 16 mil right there. Maybe we can hit that. Oh no. Okay. Looks like we're not gonna make it. If we clear the board, maybe. Oh, we did. Nice. Just barely, but we made it. Victory. 9.2 billion. That's another episode of Nubby's Number Factory. If y'all made it this far, I greatly appreciate y'all sticking here and listening to me. If you want more videos like this, or if you have any recommendations, role plays, whatever, you know, just shoot ideas, send me something in the comments, and I'll make sure to write it down, or I'll see if it's something I want to do or not. But anyways, I appreciate you guys sticking around. Thank you so much, and have a good night. Peace out.